Today we're doing the wild pepper tenders from Popeyes, Louisiana Kitchen. Mashed potatoes, hopefully spit free. We have their amazing biscuit, if you will. And then the always delightful chicken. Oh, and as a special guest star, don't forget the red hot honey sauce. This should be some fine eating.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Greg and he's Q. Welcome to the Mr. Happy 0121 channel. Today, we're going to review this chicken and it's going to be delicious. I can't wait. I'm very excited.
Alright, open it right up.
Let's pop the top on these potatoes, shall we?
Smells slamming. Doesn't smell slamming.
Doesn't really smell so good.
No.
Smells kind of like rancid cat piss. Let's give the piece of chicken a try first, shall we?
We shall.
Here we go, friends. Gonna take the rear end and we're gonna mash it into the potatoes, friends, because you know that's what you do. That was a tasty combination right there. Wouldn't you agree? Tasty indeed. This came as a 4-piece with mashed potatoes, a biscuit, and a tasty beverage for $6.19.
It did.
I think it's $6.19. It was a bit overpriced.
Really?
It was a bit hard on the wallet. You know what I'm saying, friends.
I know what you're saying.
All right. I'm going in alone with the red hot honey while he enjoys some more potatoes and chicken. When you glaze it, it kind of looks like sweet and sour sauce. And if they were smart, that's kind of the direction they'll go. Let's find out. I'm going to go in for a second bite. It's not often I'm undecided. Usually I can say this stinks or this is good or this is bad. Second bite. Popeyes Chicken. I like the batter. It's kind of like, I want to use the phrase cornflake, but I know it's not cornflake. It's got some kind of crispiness to it you don't get anywhere else. At its worst, on a baseline level, Popeyes, to me, is always a B with the chicken.
Really? And
then it can build from there. This was pretty run-of-the-mill to me. Wasn't nothing special. I didn't get anything from it. I'm going to go ahead and give it a B. I didn't think it was bad, but here's the weird part. Because I was prepared not to like the red hot honey sauce. Does not sound appealing at all. First of all, it was not red hot. It wasn't even like regular hot. It was pleasant. It was very pleasant. It actually accentuated the chicken quite a bit. Gave it like a depth of flavor. There's you some food terms.
Wow.
So, I'm going to give it a B. My cat's attacking my leg. Going to give it a B without the sauce, but with that sauce, I go all the way up to an A.
Really?
The second piece of chicken was improved vastly by that sauce. So get the sauce, if nothing else, and try it with any chicken. That's my info for today. How about you, sir? What do you give it?
I'll go be honest. I give it a D.
The chicken a D?
Yeah, it's just not that good. It tastes really average. It's like there's not a lot of flavor and it's spicy.
What about with the potato added?
With the potato, a D plus.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's why there's two of us here. With the sauce, I went as high as an A on this product. He went as low as a D without mashed potatoes. That's a big difference.
That is a very big difference.
It's a huge difference. We don't have differences that far apart often. But hey, when we do, we do. I'm kind of curious if you guys have tried this. Tell us who you think was closer.
This guy.
Mr. D or Mr. A? Mr. A. That's like the PG version of Mr. Ass from Rapid DX. He used to be Mr. Ass, or he started out as the badass, and then he went to Mr. Ass, and now, because it's the PG era of WWE, he's back to Billy Gunn. Guy had the greatest name in the history of wrestling, and
it just devolved.
Yeah, well, they took it back to his regular name. I mean, once you get to the point that you're Mr. Ass,
yeah,
where can you go with that?
I don't know if you want to be that.
And then his finishing move, he took his leg and put it behind your head and then dropped you on your face. And his finishing move was called the Fame-Asser. Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's high quality entertainment. My brief thing with him was this: whenever you go to a wrestling event and you want to get acknowledged by a wrestler, you make a sign of the wrestler that no one else makes a sign for.
Oh.
Because then they look out and they go, you know, like everybody makes a John Cena sign or everybody makes a sign for The Rock. On this particular day, I made a sign that said, "I paid to see Mr. Ass."
Yeah.
And I didn't have good seats on this day. I was like up in the stands, and he spotted me from wherever, and he stopped what he was doing and walked all the way across the building to get to that sign.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there's a little tip for you kids, especially on non-televised events. Make a sign of the wrestler that no one loves, and you'll get some attention.
Speaking of wrestling, you ever seen backyard wrestling?
Yes.
I saw a video the other day of these two pasty white kids in front of an apartment building just smacking the crap out of each other, hitting each other with chairs, and just ridiculous.
It's how CM Punk started. And if I'm not mistaken, now I could be mistaken, I may be wrong, but I believe Reckless Eating actually started as backyard wrestlers.
That is insane.
Like a bunch of them.
Some of those videos I've seen, like, it gets extreme. They're hitting each other with glass, and there's barbed wire, and
yeah, and they're not properly trained, and yeah, some of that.
I saw someone take like a full, like some guy was running, he took at full speed, he took a knee to the head. Rough.
It happens.
Oh yeah.
I would guarantee you though that wasn't the intention. That was the result.
No.
But I mean, even pros. John Cena had his nose shattered. It was on live TV. It went from like here to here by taking a knee from Seth Rollins.
Ooh.
I mean, I always say it's not fake. What you see is happening. It's predetermined. People will go, no, it's fake. Let someone pick you up over their head and drop you, and then tell me how fake that is. It really happened. They knew beforehand what was going to happen. It's not fake. It's predetermined.
I could see how like calling it all fake would be like inaccurate.
It's a lazy man's way of dealing with it. I mean, sure they pull the punches, and sure they know how to fall, but when you jump off of a 12-foot ladder, you're still jumping off a 12-foot ladder.
I don't really think that they believe that when they do that, or like a somersault, that that's actually faked.
There are people that believe that it's not blood, that it's ketchup. There's people that will tell you that they use blood packets. Because people just can't wrap their head around the fact that these guys tape razor blades to their wrist and cut themselves open.
Yeah, when I was like a really little kid, I used to think, like, just sit around and wonder how they administered like fake blood on each other when they were down. But then you explained to me it's cuts, and if you look at
an old wrestler, his head looks like a road map because And to me, you can say what you want. When a boxer wakes up in the morning, a boxer never wakes up the day before a fight and says, "I'm going to lose." You can't be someone in a sport and have that mentality and get in the ring unless fight's fixed. But you get in there with the intention, never thinking you're going to get knocked out. A wrestler, on the other hand, knows when they wake up that morning that they're going to go through a plate glass window, or they're going to have like a giant light bulb broken over their head, or they're going to be backflipped onto some tacks. And that's going to happen because it's in the script. That is going to happen. To me, it takes a tougher man to know that that's going to happen to him later in the day, or he's going to fall off the top of a ladder and go through a table, than it does for a guy to go get in a fight and believe that he's going to win.
They must get paid very well.
Wrestlers, not so much. Some do, like 4 in the world.
Really?
Yeah. Even like, say, your lower tier WWE guys, they're making like $250,000, but then they're on the road 300 days a year. They have to pay for their own travel.
$250,000 a year?
Yeah, it's $250,000, but they have to pay for their own travel, and they travel up to 300 days a year.
Wow.
They have to like buy their own food. Yeah. I mean, that $250,000 is a lot of money, but then when you have to pay for all your own travel, well, when I say that, like plane tickets, they don't have to pay for it, but like
hotels,
different things, they've got to pay for most of that. And if you don't have a home, everybody knows it's a lot more expensive. You're spending a lot of money every day eating out, going places, doing stuff, tipping people. That money goes away quick if they're not careful. That's why so many old wrestlers are broke. But their game plan is probably this. If you look at the life expectancy of a wrestler, not many of them make it to 50, so why save the money?
It's kind of grim, but yeah.
Except for Ric Flair, that guy.
He's not dying.
There's only two things left if the world goes up tomorrow. It's going to be Ric Flair and cockroaches. You can't kill Ric Flair. He's lived the hardest life of anybody. Like all these guys that drop dead. Ric Flair, man.
They're all pansies compared to Ric Flair.
He's the guy that used to wear nothing but a robe on the planes. Public planes. He would fly from city to city wrestling with his belt and a robe. He'd get on the plane and flash people. Look it up. It happened. This was before 9/11, people. Although, other than the belt, which is made of metal, after 9/11, I think Ric Flair would have been super safe to fly with because it would have been really easy to do a check of what he was carrying and just have him open the robe.
Oh, no. I don't want to see that.
Nobody wants to see that. One last thing, and then we're going to do these shout-outs and get out of here. I've told you before. Triple H's story about the very first time he ever met Ric Flair.
Oh, yeah, this is interesting.
He was going through the lobby of a Holiday Inn, and they have a bar in the Holiday Inn. And it was after hours, it was supposed to be closed. And Triple H heard this huge commotion. So he opens the door of the Holiday Inn bar. And standing at the door, completely naked, except for a helium balloon tied to his schwanz, which the balloon was holding his schwanz up, was Ric Flair. And Ric Flair looked him right in the eye and said, "Woo!" Now, I don't know what Triple H did, but I believe I would have backed out slowly and closed that door behind me, got in the elevator, went upstairs, and locked my room. Personally. And I like Ric Flair, but I think that would have been enough right there to make me run.
Wow.
There's my Ric Flair story. We're done with the wrestling talk.
That is one great first impression.
So for the 12% of you that are out there that enjoy wrestling, because I see the comments, I know some of you do, there was some wrestling talk. Probably not any of the wrestling talk that they wanted. Because, WWE, even as we're making this video, is having a live pay-per-view that I'm going to have to watch later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from Madison Square Garden.
Doesn't the Reckless Eating guy, doesn't he do reviews on the pay-per-views? That's interesting. That's really interesting.
It is interesting. He does really well with it, too. If I had a partner that knew anything about wrestling, I would totally do that because I love wrestling. But it would be 20 minutes of him going, mm-hmm, yeah, mm-hmm.
Completely ignorant.
John Cena? Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, so if I ever find somebody watching some wrestling, anybody out there that wants to fly themselves out after every pay-per-view and sit in the seat and talk about wrestling with me, we'll put it on the other channel. Hey. Shout-outs! Today's shout-out goes to you, Matthew Fields. We want to thank you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being patient, because I know at this point now it's been like weeks since you asked for this shout-out. So if you were still out there and you were still watching, hey, man, we appreciate you even more for that.
We do.
Who you got?
Sandy Dolls. Hey, she follows us on Snapchat and Instagram. She's very devoted to
God bless you, Sandy.
Yes, God bless you.
I mean, it takes a special kind of person to watch one of these crappy videos and be like, I got to go see what these dudes are up to on Snapchat.
It does.
Or I got to go see a picture of them on Instagram.
Or a picture of a cat.
Yeah, you know what? The Instagram's the way to go if you get sick of looking at us, because we're in like 20% of the pictures. It's food and the cat. Or a combination of the cat and food. And energy drinks. So there. Now we'll roll right into the part where we say, thanks for watching. We promise not to talk about wrestling anymore for at least like 6 months. Got it all out of our system. Because, not everybody enjoys the fine art of the squared circle. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can find us on all social media, including the aforementioned Snapchat and Instagram. Just search Mr. Happy 0121. Or as we like to say, 0121. He's on Christian Mingle. What was your name again? Butt Surfer 66669 or something?
No, it was Booty 66669.
Booty.
Yeah.
But Booty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Butt Surfer.
Butt Surfer. I'll tell you what was Booty.
That's offensive.
Booty or Butt Surfer?
Butt Surfer.
Maybe if it's your butt being surfed, it could be misconstrued, I guess. As always, especially if you're out surfing and don't want to be butt surfed, stay vigilant. Thanks for watching.